Hi, good day everyone. So welcome to the Docker series Docker tutorial series, and today we are gonna take a look into it how we build Docker container. So it will be a real quick session on this. It's just basically a CLI command from where how do we build Docker container using CLI, and then we would also see where the images come from, and we would see what do we mean by this IT, what do we mean by this P. Basically, these are the command arguments, and then we will check the container images using Docker desktop, how it is getting stored, where exactly it is getting mounted. So let me just pull up a shell here. Okay, so right now if I have to see which all container I have, we have a command called docker ps. So I don't have any container mounted. So if I have to build a container in my local, so the command that I have is docker. This is a commandlet name, and then we have docker run. Followed by there is a flag called there is a parameter called command parameter argument, whatever you want to say, name, and we can give a container whatever name we want to give. Let's say you want to build a Linux container, so you can say Linux. Container. And then we will give another flag, another argument here called IT, and then we will give another argument called -p, and we will mention here 8080 and then we need to mention like which image you want to build on this container. That means you want to build Linux, you want to build macOS, or you want to build Windows. Excuse me, sorry. So in our case, I'll be using Ubuntu. So we will be typing Ubuntu over here, and I just need to hit enter. So right now you see it has shown me an error here. It's saying unknown shorthand flag in -name it is telling me. So here we need to make little modification in the command. I need to give double hyphen here. This is the syntax of it. So see, it has started searching for the images. So you see it is writing over here like unable to find images latest in locally. So what do we mean by locally? Local means you are already aware of like local system, where right now I am using this command prompt. So first of all, Docker search images in your local. If if it finds images in local, it will directly started mounting your image, or building up your container. If it doesn't find, it would go to your registry, and in the registry it will start searching for the image, and it will build the container. So as you can see, it is saying like downloaded new image for Ubuntu latest. And here also, now we need to, as I told, like we would be discussing like what is this hyphen name. So name, I just gave a container to a name, which is a Linux container, and hyphen IT or TI means it's a interactive shell. So that means the moment it will build up the container, once it is done building up the container, it will immediately attach terminal to it, and get you through the terminal. You will be entering into the shell of the container, whatever it's was being built or is being built, and from there you can start doing further operation to your container, whatever you want to do. So for uh, that's what interactive shell depicts here. And then we have -p. -p means port number, like as we have discussed in our previous session, container is a process, and process or application, it's being is being hosted or always being hosted in particular port actually. So in our case, we are exposing 8080 -80. That means port number 8080, on which this particular container will run in this local system. Ubuntu, as a name itself suggests, like this is the image you want to fetch in, and this is how we have just uh, built our container. So now see, this is a terminal. It has given me the, you see it is saying root at the rate this uh, ID it is telling. This is the container ID. I have logged in as the root container. So if I want to see what is my present directory, I'll say pwd. So you see it is giving me, that means I've logged in as a root user. And if you want to see what is the current directory structure that I have here, you can say dir or you can say ls. So these are the directories which I have. So if I want to create any directory here, I have to do mkdir and I'll say git. And again, if I do ls, you will see it has created git here. So now whatever operations I'm doing here, I'm using the CLI, and whatever all the operation are being done into the Linux Docker container right now. So this is how we build the container using CLI. And let me quickly go back to our uh, PPT here. So see, we have discussed here, like this command I have already discussed. I have showed you like what this command means. These are the this name we call at arguments, whatever uh, you see with the hyphen or double hyphen. These all things are hyphen. These all things are arguments, and each argument or parameter has a specific task or purpose for which they are being described into the command. And I have explained you, IT means interactive cell, P means port, and you just need to give a name of the container here, sorry, image here, and this is how you can, build your Docker container. Now, another question I have, where the images comes from. So we need to check. I have already explained you, like first Docker search images in the local. So if it find images in local, then it will start building the container. If it doesn't find, it will go to the remote registry that you have, and in registry whatever repository, if it has images, it will fetch, or uh, wherever it will find images in the registry, it will fetch it and start building the container. So in our case, what is the registry I'm using here? So I'm using Docker Hub. So I'm using Docker Hub here. So in this Docker Hub, it's a public repository registry. It's a public registry, and from here it is pulling the images. In case in our local we don't find images. If local doesn't have images, then it will pull images. If local doesn't have images, it will pull from the public repository. So that is where images comes from. Uh, we have already discussed this interactive cell and P and hyphen, what this mean. Now, how do I check the container and image in Docker Desktop? It's pretty simple. It's just an application here, Docker Desktop we have installed yesterday. So you see here, you can go to container. It will, yeah, it is, see, it is showing Linux container right now. It is up and running. You can stop container from here, or you can run from here. You can do whatever operation we are doing from CLI from here as well, for your convenience. But CLI is always a good practice because it will give you a kind of, hands-on while you're writing your Docker file, or, Docker Compose in YAML. So yeah, so see the images, this is, you see, it is showing like now it has pulled the Ubuntu images, and in Docker Desktop, we have got Ubuntu images here. So let me just show you one more thing here. So right now, let me come out of it. So Control C is the option to come out. Sorry, Control Z. Oh, it is not coming out. Yeah, Control C is the command to come out of it. And now, let if I have to check what all container are running, the command is docker ps, and it will tell me like, okay, this is the container which is running right now. It is a container ID, and it's a Ubuntu container. So now if I have to build another container, so this time it will not go to the registry, that is public registry, that is the uh, uh, Docker Hub. It will pull image or build container from the whatever image we already have in local. And how do I know I have images in local? You see, if you go this image tab, already you got the images has been pulled here. So this time it will be very much faster. So if I have to again build the Docker container, so all I have to do is like Docker run. Come on, Docker run, and I have to say name, and I will say this time Linux container 2. And again, it's the same thing. So you have to give interactive shell and then followed by which port you want to host. So let's say I want to host it on 8082, and I'll give 82, right? And I'll give the image ubuntu, right? If I hit enter, it will start. See, it didn't even do anything. It is directly, build up the container, and I'm now already entered into the shell of Linux container 2. So you see, again, if I have to see my present working directory, pwd, it is showing root user. If I have to check what all things are here, so you see, again, it's the same file system it has here. And if I want to create a folder here, Docker, any, let's say I have to create a Git folder here. So I'll do mkdir git. So if I do ls here, and it will show me Git here, right? So this is how you can build this is just an example. Like this time it has built your container from the local image, whatever image you had in the local, right? So let me come out of it. I press Control C again. Oh wait, okay, this is it. Okay, yeah, Control C I have pressed, and I have just came out of it. So now if I have to check again, you can use Docker PS to see which all container you have. So this see, it is showing like two containers are running right now. Container ID it is showing, images it is showing. And now let's say if you want to see how many images or what all the images you have. So again the command for that is a Docker run image. uh, Sorry, Docker image analysis. It will list all the images. So see, we already have one image. So it is showing images. So yeah, this is how you can build the container and start doing whatever work you want to do in your container, which we are going to see in our next coming tutorials. Well, thanks for watching. I wish you a good day. Let's stay connected.